Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales? Hello people, and what is happening? Are you doing your good? Yes. Okay, so what is happening today then? Been digging the barrel, getting a little bit of scrapings around the side left, just trying to get them off so I can tell you them. Okay, yeah, I just remember this crazy day that I had, mental. I used to work at UPS as a delivery driver, and I used to like help out teaching new drivers stuff, and even drivers that have been there for a while but might be changing over to northwest London, my ends, if you like. Well, anyway, I went to work in the morning, got up onto the North London belt, chatting with Lee Halligan and Darren and just all of the Mark Staples, all of the old UPSies. So anyway, yeah, so I'm there, and then Darren was like the team leader or whatever you call him, and he sort of come over to me and he said, yeah, I want you to go out with a driver that is going to stay nameless, because I didn't ask him if I could do this tale about him, but yeah, so we're not going to mention him, we're going to call him Jeffrey. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so I'm standing there with Darren and going through some paperwork and all that, and then he's like, right, I've got a little bit of a mad one today, because I'm going to give you a few drops in West 1, and then from West 1 I want you to go to North London. If I can remember rightly, it was Edmonton N9, and then yeah, I think so anyway. Well, anyway, this driver, he'd been there for like maybe even longer than me, I don't even know, but he was based in EC, Central London, like that's where he was posted or whatever, and I don't know what troubles he was having there, but they like tried to palm him off to North London to be a us lot. And anyway, so Darren said, yeah, go and do these couple of drops in West 1. They was just drops that needed to be done ASAP, and then make your way to Edmonton, and there's another like 10 or 15 deliveries, and we'll send some collections through or whatever. And yeah, so I was like, oh sweet, nice one. So said hello to the driver. Right, I'm John. What, mate? I'm Jeffrey. Nice one, what's happening? So yeah, we jump in the old motor and he's behind the wheel. Yeah, so we drive out the centre and we make our way down West 1, and then we had a couple of deliveries like to some shopping places like Liberties and Debenhams and maybe even Selfridges, I don't know, I can't remember, but anyway, I think this one was like Liberties or whatever. So we pull up, right, and already like I've only been with a fella driving from Kentish Town to West 1, you know what I mean, not too far down the old C2 bus route, and I can tell that something's up with this fella, because he is getting the hump about everything. People walking the road, he's like, rah, 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 rah. You know what I mean? He was getting proper stressed about everything. I'm not joking, like anyone got in front of the van, or if a car stopped abruptly in front of us, or he was just getting the right hump with everything. And I was just like, you alright? And he's like, yeah, I'm right. So anyway, we carry on down, and then we chucked a right turn into where Cavendish Square was, and then parked up near John Lewis, had a couple of deliveries that we thought we'd just have a little stroll up Oxford Street and plonk them in. So we was walking from the van down between two of the buildings, and as we get to Oxford Street, right, there's this guy doing this test where you had to hold metal bars and then he put vibrations through the bars or something, and it was meant to like see how stretched you was, like. So anyway, so I seen this and I was just in my head, I'm laughing, thinking, God, this is this fella all day long. So I said to him, as a joke at first, I was like, you be good at that, mate, or stress test. And he was like, do you think? And I was like, yeah, have a go on it, mate. So he's sitting down and that, and he's the guy's talking to him and that, and they're strapping him to this machine or whatever they're doing. So anyway, I've got these 2 drops, one for Liberties, one for Debenhams, I think. So I'm just like, I said to him, look, I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm gonna go and do these 2 drops, yeah, and I'll meet you back here in a minute, yeah? He's like, alright mate, nice one. So anyway, so I've gone off doing these deliveries. I don't know how long I've taken, 15 minutes maybe, something like that. Anyway, I come back, and where he was sitting with this guy, there's no UPS driver. He's gone. And I said to the guy, I said, where's my colleague gone? He's gone, oh my God, my friend, because he was like, I don't know, some European country or something. He's like, my friend. He said, your friend. He said, he gets very stressed. He's very good for what I do. And I was like, all right. And he's like, please. He went that way, like pointed towards where our van was or whatever. And I was like, all right, nice one, thanks. He's like, please bring him back. I want to do more tests. And I was like, all right, mate, whatever. I'll talk to him when I get back, when I find him. He's like, all right, thank you. Anyway, so I started walking towards our van. Got there and the passenger slide doors open, like, and he's sitting behind the driver and behind the steering wheel, and he's like banging the steering wheel like that. And I was just like, I didn't understand. I was like, you alright? What's up? And he's like, I fucking hate this job. And I was like, alright, well, what's up? What's happened? And he's like, I just fucking hate it, alright? I fucking hate it. So I was like, alright, okay. So I was like, I was going to say the fella wants you to go back, but I thought, yeah, that is not a good idea. He was proper stressed. He was sweating like, I think it was like late September, October time, and it weren't warm or nothing, and he was sweating like a drip. I'm not even joking. So I just thought, better watch what I say here, might upset him. You know what I mean? So I was like, calm down, mate. I said, calm down. I said, don't get stressed out. What's up? And he's like, oh, it don't matter, right? It just don't matter. And I was like, all right. And then it was funny because like I went to shut the slide door and there was a couple of fellas, I think they was builders, I don't know what he was doing down there, but they was standing there looking at us, like I was thinking, what are they looking at or whatever. And then one of them went to me, oi mate, your pal, oh my God, he is funny as fucking hell. And I was like, wow, what's up? And then he's like, he done that test and he nearly broke the machine. He was like proper, because he was strapped to it and he wanted to get away from it. It's like he pulled like really hard, it's gone all over the floor. But the fella whose machine it was, he was like thinking to himself, yes mate, I need this, this is what I want. And I was like, alright, sweet, alright, nice one. So anyway, I carried on, shut the door, looked round and he was like, what are they saying about me? I was like, no, they weren't talking about you. They weren't talking about you. Saying something about some other geezer down the road. Don't worry about it. He's like, all right. And then, I shut the door and I kept the window shut as well because them 2 fellas were sort of in the vicinity, and I thought if they wind him up anymore, he's going to fucking go wild and probably put out a gun or something, shoot him. But yeah, I was like sitting there, like, and then it's mad, right? Because this is a story for another day, but the reason that I weren't doing none of the driving that day is because I lost my driving license. We won't talk about all that, but UPS thought I was a good worker, decided to keep me on, and basically that's why I weren't driving. But I tell you what, I'm sitting there looking at him and I'm thinking, oh my God, you've got to drive me back to Kentish Town now. Like, and I did not feel safe whatsoever. I put about 9 seat belts on, even though there was only one in the van for me. And I just like calmed him down. I was like, look, just don't worry about it, mate. Let's just chill out, yeah. And I told him to put his seatbelt on. And I was like, just chill out. And first of all, we've got to reverse out of wherever we've gone in, because it's like, it's not a through road, you know what I mean? It's pavement at the end of this road, and the road's not quite wide enough to do a 3-point turn. So I was thinking, oh my God, now I've got to get him to reverse out of here. But to my astonishment, he reversed around the corner and he done it very well. Do you know what I mean? Thank God. And then, so he's reversed around his thing, and I've just sort of like told him sort of how to get back to Hampstead Road, and then or Albany Street. It was one of the two, and then he like knew his way from there, like. But yeah, I mean, we drove back and I was like clutching my seat, thinking, please don't crash into something. We got back we went straight back into the depot, like, and I still had like a load of Edmonton drops on the back of the van, like, and I was like, yeah, just go in here. And then luckily enough, Darren was still at work, because he was like part of the preload team. So he'd been there since silly o'clock in the morning, and he was just about to go home, like, and then we pulled in there or whatever, and Darren's walked over and said, bloody hell, you done that quick? And I was like, do you know what? I said, we haven't been to Edmonton yet. I said, we've just done all the West 1 drops, but I said to Darren, I said, he's not feeling too good, like, and then I could see he was going to say something, and I looked at him and I was like, I put my hand up like, shh. and then he sort of cottoned onto that, do you know what I mean? Like, and then Darren's like to him, you okay? And he's like, I just feel a bit ill, man. So Darren's like, all right, mate, all right. You better go home then, mate. And he's like, oh, cheers. And then like he's getting out of the van. He looked at me. He's like, cheers, John, cheers. And I was like, all right, nice one. And then he walked off, and then I looked at Darren, and he's like, what's the matter? And I was like, God, I did not feel safe with that guy in the van. Darren was like, all right. And he's like, luckily enough, there was another driver, another nameless driver. Oh yeah, that was his name, Terry. Yeah, so he just said, don't worry about it, mate, just take Terry out and go to North London and get these drops done and that. And I was like, yes, thanks Dale, cheers mate. And I can remember pulling back out of Regis Road and onto Highgate Road. We was going up Fort S Road. No, we was going down Holloway Road when we got to Tufnell Park. Anyway, Holloway Road, Tufnell Park Road to Holloway. Don't worry about that, don't matter. But yeah, when we was rolling up Fortis Road, it was like, that was stressing. And like the unnamed Terry driver was like, you alright? I was like, yeah, sweet, just a bit of a funny day. He's like, alright, sweet. But yeah, it was mental. And when I could see them builders, like, that they was nearly crying. They was thinking, it was so funny when they was explaining to me what had actually happened while I weren't there, like, but fucking hell. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him in the end. Do you know that? I didn't really see him much after that, and he definitely didn't come to North London. But yeah, that was a bit of a funny one. All right, nice one. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Please like, subscribe, smash bells, comment, and do all that stuff for me. And then I'll speak to you lot in the next one.
Chap tales, don't you wanna hear some chap tales?